Vertus, that's red tobacco. I was gonna say like an inspired by fragrance. That's pretty much red tobacco. It smells good though. Oud Imperium is next. For those of you wondering, I've been sitting here now for about 35 minutes. So I'm trying to let these dry down and give them a fair shake. Oud Imperium is next. So we're gonna get that one right up here. There we go. And smell that right away. Ooh, that is funky, boys. Oh man, that's right. Okay, so off the top, this is kind of a fecal oud. So it smells like you took a crap. Now, I'm not gonna tell you that I hate it though, because I don't. But I can imagine somebody who has only ever smelled Acqua di Gio, and then you're like, hey bro, I got this new fragrance, do you wanna check it out? And like, oh yeah, sure, what is it? And you go, oh, it's Oud Imperium, it's sick, runs you 200 bucks for 50 milliliters, and they're like, wow, it's gonna smell awesome, and then you hit them with a big blast of that. That would be epic. So yeah, off the top, it's got a little bit of a funky, fecal oud thing going on. Definitely not something that the majority of people are going to dig. For people that are into oud though, they might enjoy it because it's definitely a departure from what you're gonna find in your more typical niche and designer ouds. And I know that some niche ouds, the higher priced ones, are definitely gonna take you down those funky avenues on occasion, but a lot of them really won't. They try to play it a little bit safer. Now that fecal blast, it's gone pretty quickly. I mean, it's already dissipated for the most part. And now it's starting to settle in a little bit. It's like it punches you in the face. It's like a Sour Patch Kid, like it blasts you right in the face. First it's sour, and then it's like, oh, I'm sorry I did that, man. I'll be chill, I'll calm down. And then it kind of fades down a little bit. So now it's got some apple coming out, sweetening up a little bit, becoming more approachable. And you get a little bit of that citrus as well. And I know it looks weird, like I'm patting myself on the back, but I mean, I've got to do that to smell it. It smells pretty good now. I don't mind it. That opening is brutality for a lot of guys out there. That's gonna be a non-starter. But as it starts to dry down, it starts to take on almost like a cola sort of vibe, where it's got this little bit of sweetness in there, a little bit of like carbonation. I know that it's not carbonated, I'm saying like it's just popping off the skin. Yeah, I like that. It's pretty wearable after that initial blast. I mean, that initial blast is gonna turn some people off. Trying to find a spot to spray this. I'm gonna for real have to like spray my hand, like the palm of my hand. I'm gonna take a shower as soon as this is over. A little bit of vanilla coming out too from Oud Imperium. A little touch of florals as well. It's nice, I like it. And now let's do Oud Luxuria. I feel like such an idiot, but here we go. Number one place to wear your fragrance. The oud here is not, it's not fecal at all, actually. I was gonna say it's not as in your face, and it's not that either, but it's not fecal. I mean, you can still smell the oud, and it's a little bit funky, but the difference between the two is enormous in terms of how they first hit you in the face. This one is your more typical oud style fragrance, where you've got oud, rose, saffron, all together. That's really like the oud trifecta, Illuminati confirmed, oud, saffron, rose. And it smells decent. The thing with this, I get bored of oud, rose, saffron fragrances unless they're just absolutely mind-blowing, and that's nothing against this fragrance. It's just there are so many of them out there. I mean, Montal has probably 50 different oud, rose, saffron fragrances at this point. That was exaggeration a little bit, but you get the point. It is not at all bad, just something that I don't really care for because there are so many of them out there. It's a good interpretation of that style of fragrance, but yeah, I would not at all shell out 200 bucks for 50 milliliters of that. One last run through and my initial thumbs up and thumbs down as far as the price goes. Novice, thumbs down, would not buy that for $200. Ultimately, it is like a mid-tier kind of smelling niche citrus fragrance. It is a little bit modeled after what Elysium has done. That's how it comes off. It's not a clone of Elysium. but it's almost like somebody saw it and they were like, hey, that's pretty cool. Can we do that, but change it around a little bit? Like copy my homework, but change the answers? Sort of like that. And I think Elysium is a superior fragrance overall when you put it up head to head. Intimus also does not smell bad. Actually, none of these really smell bad. Intimus, though, has that kind of, that feel that I've talked about, that little bit of familiarity. It does come across a little designer-ish, so for me, again, 200 bucks, I'm not gonna spend that. Primus, as it has dried down, and I will say this also, like I'm stuttering here, but Primus, the projection on that far superior to Novice and Intimus, at least coming off my skin right now, because that one, you get a little bit close, pick it up right away. The other ones, not quite as much. But yeah, Primus, it interests me. It has that bit of a soil feeling that I talked about, and it's like a sparkly soil with a little bit of green in there, some woods. And actually, I don't think it's actually soil, it's just the way the spice comes across in the fragrance. It interests me, but I wouldn't drop $200 on it, if I'm honest. Absolutio is the best of the bunch. It's got a bit of that BR540 vibe, but I think I'd rather wear this than BR540, honestly. I think it's nicer, just the way it comes across. I'm gonna get crucified for that probably, but it smells good. I like it. That one's a thumbs up. Vertus Mancera Red Tobacco. That one, out of all of these, some of these you might say, oh, little vibe of this, little vibe of that. This one is close to Red Tobacco. It reminds me of it very strongly. Oud Luxuria, I like that too. I think just as far as me smelling them, like for myself, that's my second favorite one. Oud Imperium. Oud Imperium is my second favorite one. I think I said Oud Luxuria. I meant Oud Imperium. Oud Luxuria, I kind of like it a little bit more that it's dried down. It's a little more interesting. Yeah. I'll tell you what it is. It's the other florals in here. The other florals are coming out instead of just the rose. You've got these other florals mixing in, and that makes it more interesting to me. It's like you've got a tiny little floral garden and you've mixed it in with your oud and saffron and rose. So yeah, that one's better. It's better. I think if I had to rate these, the top three, Absolutio, Oud Imperium, and probably Vertus, but Vertus is ultimately very similar to Red Tobacco. So there we go, guys. First impressions on these 7 fragrances. I know this video ran super long, but I wanted to give each one of these a chance to dry down before I cut it. Overall, if you're interested in these fragrances, I do suggest the Discovery set, but I think they're sold out right now. I'm looking on the website and it says they're sold out. So hopefully they get back in stock soon. Final thoughts on these fragrances. I definitely see where some people are coming from, where they talk about, oh, this smells like it's got a bit of that, and this smells like it's got a bit of that. I don't think that they're clones, other than Vertus. That one's coming across a little clone-y to me, but the other ones don't come across like direct clones. Now, do they smell like they've got a little bit of this or a little bit of that as an inspiration? Yeah, they do. At least most of them do. But that doesn't make them bad. Some of these are better than others though, and I let you guys know my favorites already. I will wear these more, do a follow-up, maybe like a review on some of these. If you guys would like that, just let me know which, and I will work on that review. I can tell you guys, I do not know if I'm going to get sent any of these, and with me spending 200 bucks for a presentation, I may on Absolutio, but the other ones, I mean, if you really want to see it, let me know, and I'll make it happen. But otherwise, I might be reviewing from right here. As always, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you smell these fragrances, let me know in the comments below which are your favorites, and maybe which ones are not your favorites. And lastly, I guess a shout out to Steven from Redolescence. It is a pretty sick accomplishment to get your own fragrance house and launch it with 7 fragrances. That's quite an undertaking. So shout out to him for getting that done, because I mean, that's crazy, and it shows a lot of work. So a shout out to him. And of course, all the best to his brand going forward. Hopefully sees great success and maybe have some more launches coming up in the next year or two. All right, guys, I already said it once, but I'll say it again. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for all your support. I'll see you guys again tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.